Welcome back to the Bourbon and Boost YouTube channel, and today we're finally going to show you everything about this beauty sitting behind me and how excited I am to have this. So let's get this video started.
Devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand, call.
So guys, it's been a while and I haven't really said much about this car. I only showed y'all a little bit. But to give you an idea, this is literally pretty much my dream build. This was the next build we were going to be building. I'd already started buying parts for it. I can't even explain how happy I am. Like, it's one of those things that like you never imagine would happen in your life. And then when somebody helps you achieve something that you've wanted for so long, it's like everything just kind of went away, and the happiness was just there. And even though we've ran into some problems with it, the happiness is definitely still there. Just every day I come out and look at all the cars, I'm super excited. It's just hard to explain. But we're gonna show you everything about it. We'll talk about it a little. So if you guys ever gonna have questions or anything, but there's a lot to this car, like a lot. So let's kind of show you what's going on here. Guys, I really want to stop the video right here and give an absolute biggest thanks I ever could to Matt from Night School of Welding. Without him, none of this would be possible. Not the sick weeks, not the black car when I hurt the engine, just none of it. I mean, he's absolutely been an absolute phenomenal sponsor and friend, and I can't wait for his car to start getting done so we can really start working on it. But without him, my dream would have never came true, which was to build a car to go 750s, which is what the new cars should do. And I can't give enough thanks for it. There's a lot in the background, but when I told him I wanted the car, he went out and got it, or we all went out and got it, and without him, none of this would be possible. You know, him, Steve, all the guys that really support me, but really Matt has been there in any way possible to make sure that we can keep racing, keep doing driving drags and everything else. So Matt, thank you, and all the guys at Night School Welding. They're just great people to even be around all the time. So guys, if you ever want to learn welding, take it up as a profession. It's an absolutely amazing profession. You make really good money. Get a hold of Night School of Welding. They'll help you get into classes and really help you start making the big bucks to be able to build crap like this and be able to weld. It helps you be able to build stuff like this, fab work and everything else. So want to learn to weld? Get a hold of Night School of Welding. So here she is in all her beauty. First thing you'll notice, air to water intercooler, which we'll show you the tank in the back here in a few minutes. Something I really liked about this is the turbo kit seems to be done really well. It's got a precision wastegate. The radiator's mounted underneath with dual fans. We've got a massive forced induction turbo on it. Air motive, the whole fuel system's air motive. Of course, electric water pump. We've got Holley smart coils, and if you look right here, this is something that was essential that I really liked, and that is the fire extinguisher kit. Now, we also have got aftermarket long travel, TRZ upper and lowers, and then we've got the TRZ bump steer kit that we actually put on and had the whole car bump steered. We've got TBM brakes on the front. We all really like this, and this is the clamp. That is extremely nice. That'll probably be going on a lot of our builds. And then we've got this here for the catch can system that actually runs into the trunk. So if you look, it's a full fiberglass front end that comes off, as you've seen in the video. Now this, we'll talk about in a minute. This is the good about the car. There's certain things that are bad we'll talk about. But it has EGT sensors, and it's got pretty much the best of the best. Now if we go inside, we've got a Tinker Dash with an aftermarket Joe's wheel. I don't know what shifter it is, but it's all air shifted, and you can see all the Holley mounted over here. CO2, and if you look, the air to water line's running through the back there. Full serted 750 cage. Come back here, we've got the beautiful Kaiser bead locks, and then we go to the trunk. So we've got the baby fuel cell, which we're going to build our own fuel cell, and I'll explain why in a minute. Something really smart is a trans overflow that'll push it back in and then suck it back into the trans. We've got our catch can back here that we're going to fix this. They did that. They told us why, and I understand, but we're going to put a metal tube on it. Then we got our air to water, which we've already replaced the top because the other top was leaking. Now, and if you look, we've got the little tabs here. I'll go to the fiberglass trunk, which ignore all the fingerprints, but it's got the little buttons, and man, those things are absolutely awesome getting it on and off. Of course, fiberglass hood too. So now that's all the good. There's definitely some bad that we've taken care of some, and we'll lift it one day and y'all will see under it more videos. It's got a 9-inch with the same shocks as in the front and rear, which Racecraft Innovations is, I think, the ones that had these shocks done, and they're the ones that actually have them valved from, can't think of the company. I'll have to look into that. I forget the name, and I know it and I still forget the name. But the shocks are revalved by Racecraft Innovations. They are long travel front and rear shocks. This car was built for no prep, which is super exciting for us because that's what we wanted to do. So let's turn around here and we'll show some of the bad. So now let's talk about the bad of the car. If you look, we've already had to do some repair here, and this is just rigged to get the fuel pump to work right. If you look over here, this is all the wiring that came in the car, and it's just absolutely not up to our standards at all. And the reason we had to do this is because this has the same air motive pump that we run in the black car. Well, here's the pump that came out of the car. It was running wide open the whole time. So the second day we owned the car, the fuel pump burned up, completely broke. So now we got to send it in to be repaired. Luckily, Matt ordered another one and had it here in like 2 days so we could get to the track. If you look over inside, the car is no better. It's just wiring just everywhere. And as y'all know, there we go. With Steve being the wiring guy, this is giving him a heart attack. He absolutely hates working on it. We've already had 3 or 4 major wiring issues A couple of them at the track that we had to try to fix while we were sitting there. Was really not, we didn't really have the tools to be fixing it. As much stuff as I bring, I didn't bring the correct tools to actually do the Deutsch connector crimps. So it's in the trailer now, but I didn't have it then. The other bad thing, which I like but I don't, is if you look, we've got fiberglass or Lexan windows. They actually pop in and out really easy. I like it and I don't. It's great because we can take the windows out. It gets it out of the way. Just like the fiberglass front end is great. I really like the fiberglass front end, but the windows kick you out of a bunch of classes. So not having windows that roll up and down factory glass actually kicks you out of a bunch of the street car classes, which is what we had planned on putting this in. So we might be trying to figure out a way to get a factory glass to roll up and down, or at least sit in there so it looks like they're in there, so that we can go into street car classes. Now that's really the worst part about this car, besides some rear suspension stuff. We went ahead and changed all the trailing arms on the car because they were wore out. The angles weren't what we wanted. I had TRZ ones on the shelf brand new, like I said, for a car I'd already planned on starting to build. So they were brand new on the shelf for years. Actually back from the Malibu build that I ended up selling because somebody offered me stupid money for it. So I had brand new trailing arms. They're all in the car. I had the car professionally lined at Chuck's Automotive out here in Shepherdsville. He did the bump steer. He did everything. We've taken the track a couple times. I went my fastest pass in it, and it was the sketchiest pass I've ever made. The car was all over the place. We went 550. I'll show you that video. But as you can see in the video, the car went. There was a lot of pedaling. It was all over the place. A lot of it was us. We're trying to get used to the shock settings from a radio car we're used to for the black car, and then this being a slick car, it's just completely different. We've also, like I told you on the last video, where we kind of give you a sneak peek of it, we're going to make major adjustments or modifications over the winter. Right here, we got the lower torque boxes from Quinn's chassis shop. We also have the main torque box is in. I got to go pick it up, but we're going to change all the torque boxes so we can get all the rear end right when we're at the track as far as our angles. The problem we're having with the car is hitting the tires so hard that it's too much, and it's because the bar angles are really set up for more of a radial. If we were to put a radial on this car, it would really probably go, but we want to be able to do some no prep, so we're trying to leave the slicks on it. But the bar angles are so sharp right now. I was up to, I think, 14 or 15 pounds of air, which is kind of a lot for a slick, but it was just hitting the tire and wadding it up. So we made quite a few adjustments, but the problem is we haven't been able to get to the track. They're doing a lot of big races at the track, and I really don't want to go spend the kind of money to try to do a test and tune when they're doing all these big races, because I might get 1 or 2 hits, and I just don't really want to spend that kind of money for nothing, basically. And Steve went out of town, so I prefer him to be there tuning on it if we're going to try to make the power we want. But we have made our fastest pass in this car to date, even faster than the black car, running a 550 with multiple pedals. So we think the car should go forwards pretty easy once we get everything lined out. But that's really about it. We'll show you the underneath eventually. We're about to put the car on the trailer for now, so I can bring the black car back in here on the rack and start getting prepped for sick week. I've got to get the trailer over here. I've got to get all the tools ready, all the spare parts. Basically anything we need, I got to go ahead and get it prepped, because I want to be ready for sick week as soon as it comes. Especially with our hunting season coming in, I won't have as much time to spend trying to prep the car. The car should be ready, but I want to go through it front to back like we always do to make sure that it's 100% before we leave, so when we get down there we don't have any problems, hopefully. But guys, I really appreciate it. If you would, like, subscribe. If you want to know more about the car, message me, comment, hit me up on Instagram, whatever. I'll talk about it. I'm not going to talk about the combination too much. I will tell you it's a forced induction turbo, and that's because we plan on using this car to do some major no preparation, hopefully, and we're not going to release too much on it. So guys, till next time, we'll see you later.